Hello, good morning, and welcome to Google Digital Garage. Welcome to Get Your Business Visible on Google. We are here today to help you find your customers or help your customers find you online. My name is Anthea, and I'm one of the Google Digital Garage trainers, and I will be taking you through today's session. However, I am not alone. Today, we also have Sarah, who is another Google Digital Garage coach, and she will be in the chat engaging with you, interacting with you, answering questions, and helping to take you through today's session. Excuse me. You can identify Sarah in the chat as she has a blue spanner next to her name. So before we get into it, I just want you to just to call out a few things that might help you with today's session. So firstly, if you do have any issues being able to hear me, being able to see me, or the slides at any point, please do refresh your page. Usually that solves the issue most of the time. Worst case scenario, come out completely, come back in, and that generally tends to resolve the remainder. If you would like to ask any questions, leave any comments, or interact with us during today's session, you will need to have a YouTube account. Log into your YouTube account and join us back on this page. And if you don't yet have a YouTube account, please just press the button that's within the chat function, which will allow you to set up an account in just a matter of moments, and then you can come back and join in. We will be pausing throughout today's session, specifically for questions, but please do drop your questions into the chat as soon as they come up, and Sarah will either answer them or have an opportunity to pass some of those over to me so that when we do stop for a break, I'll be able to answer those for everybody. We are running this particular session as part of a wider offering for Google Digital Garage. So please do visit our website in order to see what else we have available. We've got a variety of things ranging from setting up CVs to social media strategy, digital marketing strategy, finding your personal brand, creating videos for YouTube. So depending on where you are in your career or in your business, you will definitely find a session that will support you. So please do visit our website and have a look and sign up for more. So I think that is all the housekeeping done. So we are going to jump straight in, and just be aware that this particular session is all about helping you to get grips with your visibility on Google and ensure that the customers that want your products and services are actually able to find you online. We break this particular session down into three parts. First is we're going to understand how customers actually find your business. Then we'll look at building your presence using Google Search and Maps, and then optimizing your visibility on Google. So we've got some tips and tools and resources available to support you in making yourself more visible. If you are a small business in the UK or a charity, please consider signing up for our one-to-one mentoring. What will happen is once you've signed up using a link which will be dropped into the chat, you'll have the option of having a one-to-one session via Google Meet with a Google Digital Garage trainer or coach, like myself, like Sarah. What we do is we spend 1 hour with you via online, just talking about your business, some of the challenges you might be facing, and we'll give you some advice, some tools, some resources, and brainstorm next steps that are going to help you overcome your latest challenge. So do definitely sign up for this if you haven't already. And if you have, feel free to sign up again. In business, we always have challenges. And so it's nice to be able to bounce off ideas and also get support from others when we do. Now, 3 out of 4 online customers use a search engine to find a business. 82% of those are smartphone users, and they're regularly conducting local mobile searches. So essentially, you've got, for every 4 people, 75% of those are searching for a business online. 82% of people who have a phone are looking for something nearby. So the question then becomes, are you online? So it'd be great to hear from you in the chat. Are you online? Do you already have a business online? Do you have a bricks and mortar business? Are you trying to, increase visibility of your bricks and mortar business by being online? Let us know in the chat so we can get a better understanding of what it is that you're trying to achieve. So let's actually figure out how your customers do actually find you. Now, it's not just about searching, it's the way in which we search and how we present our information online to be found. So it's twofold. Now, our search and shopping behavior has changed. Thank you, thanks to the internet and also the smartphone. We now have access to this vast online world where we're able to get everything that we want just at our fingertips. So we're here really to just drive those local customers to our business. So let's think about getting into the right mindset of those customers that we want to engage with. It's about thinking about how our customers use the internet and their smartphones to find products and services they're interested in, and ensuring that you are positioning yourself to be found. So what would be useful, and I know that some of you might be on smartphones at the moment, but just I want you to start thinking about, how do you search? So let's imagine that you were looking for pizza and it's, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the evening and you felt like pizza. How would you go about searching for a pizza that's near you? What search terms might you use? How would you use the search function to search for pizza that's local to you? So start thinking about what that process looks like, and then we'll start breaking that down. So how do you search for that product or service online? So again, thinking about searching, it's so natural to us. Sometimes we don't break it down and figure out what the individual steps are. But the behavior is almost habitual to us now. So let's actually start looking at what some of those behaviors are. So when I said to you, how would you go about searching for pizza near you? Sarah's saying that she uses Google Voice Search on her mobile. So some people don't even type. Some people may want to just speak the words into a search engine and find results. So let us know, how do you search for yours? For me, it would depend on what I'm searching for. If I'm looking generically for a business, I will use the search function. If I'm looking for something that is near me, I tend to actually go into the maps function and then start looking at where I am and zoom out to see what restaurants or what businesses are local to me. So I search depending on what it is I am looking for, and that can vary from search to search. When you get your search results, the next question then is, well, what is it that influences your decision to click on one business over the other? So you've typed in your search for pizza. You've got a list of results that have come up. What makes you decide which of those links to click? So this is really important for you to understand, because until you can get into the mindset of a typical customer and understand what influences their decision making, it's going to be challenging for you to position yourself in a way that gets them to click through onto your links. Are they looking for good reviews? Are they looking for, interesting headlines? Are they looking for that first line to come back with enough detail that says, oh, this is somewhere I'd like to go? Is it based on location? Is it based on the name? Is it the fact that you have images attached to your business? There are a variety of different factors that will influence, so it's useful to get an understanding of that. Renee is saying I use both search engines and map. Again, so everyone has a preference, and we also have to consider that our audience has a preference too. So let's think about the customer online search journey. Again, staying in the mindset of the customer. So the behavior for customer searches has changed, and that's again mostly due to mobiles. And we're becoming much more reliant on these devices to get access to products and services online, especially nearby. So we now have a higher expectation from businesses that supply the services and products that we want. So the process pretty much always kicks off with a search through a device, mostly a mobile. Of course, it could be a laptop, a desktop computer, a tablet, whatever. But it's all about curiosity, and we need to start changing the way that we ask questions. So we expect to get useful advice and answers from the web, and Google generally tends to see 15% of unique queries every single day. So that decision process is where we assess the listings presented to us, either through Google search, Maps, or any other platform, and know that customers are really demanding. The fact that we have so much variety now, they're becoming more and more demanding as they go through. So they want more personalized results. They want to be able to look at something and know this is speaking directly to me. They also want to know is where you are. So how local are you to me? Because again, as a customer, if I'm looking for something that's local and a business that's, 20 miles away comes up, I'm not interested. So I really want to be very specific about what I'm looking for and where I'm looking for it. So that final part of it is, what is it? So before we go into that final part, just looking at the decision is, again, just remembering, and I think Renee mentioned that, is like looking at ratings and reviews. So what is it that's influencing the decision to go to a particular business? Yes, location is one of them, but it could be reviews, Sarah's mentioning photos, descriptions, opening hours, etc. So where you think it's enough to just put your business out there, it no longer is, because there's such high competition. It's really important for you to be very specific about the type of business you are, what you offer, where you are, when you offer it, and everything else that might be important to a potential customer. That will then influence their decision. And so when that influences their decision, that leads to the engagement. And it's like, what do we get? Do we get what we need right now? And how do we contact you if we have questions? There has been an increase in the open now searches. So again, going back to this pizza example, if it's 8, 9 o'clock, you can imagine that a lot of restaurants in maybe shopping centers might be closed, but there might be pizza places local to you. So by filtering with the open now option, it means that you are only going to see results for organizations that are open right now. And because customers are becoming more and more impatient, it's really important that you can support them and give them all the information they need to make the appropriate decision and engage. So why is search important? When we look at searching, we think, oh, it's just something you write in a query, you send it off, you get results, and you get what you want. It's not the case. It's actually a lot deeper than that. So I want to share a video with you to give you a better understanding about how search works. So just thinking about this age-old concept of if you build it, they will come. It's not really true anymore in the online world. Bricks and mortar, yes. If you were in a shopping center and had a physical store, you build it, people will come because they're naturally walking past a particular area. When you're online, you are in the vast, world of millions and millions of businesses, and therefore are likely to get lost. People have to know you exist or want something that you potentially offer to then find out about you. So this is about you being found.
Every day, billions of people come here with questions about all kinds of things. Sometimes we even get questions about Google search itself, like how this whole thing actually works. And while this is a subject entire books have been written about, there's a good chance you're in the market for something a little more concise. So let's say it's getting close to dinner and you want a recipe for lasagna. You've probably seen this before, but let's go a little deeper. Since the beginning, back when the homepage looked like this, Google has been continuously mapping the web, hundreds of billions of pages, to create something called an index. Think of it as the giant library we look through whenever you do a search for lasagna or anything else. Now, the word lasagna shows up a lot on the web. Pages about the history of lasagna, articles by scientists whose last name happened to be lasagna, stuff other people might be looking for. But if you're hungry, randomly clicking through millions of links is no fun. This is where Google's ranking algorithms come into play. First, they try to understand what you're looking for, so they can be helpful even if you don't know exactly the right words to use or if your spelling is a little off. Then they sift through millions of possible matches in the index and automatically assemble a page that tries to put the most relevant information up top for you to choose from. Okay, now we have some results. But how did the algorithms actually decide what made it onto the first page? There are hundreds of factors that go into ranking search results, so let's talk about a few of them. You may already know that pages containing the words you search for are more likely to end up at the top. No surprise there. But the location of those words, like in the page's title or in an image's caption, those are factors too. There's a lot more to ranking than just words. Back when Google got started, we looked at how pages link to each other to better understand what pages were about and how important and trustworthy they seemed. Today, linking is still an important factor. Another factor is location, where a search happens. Because if you happen to be in Ormea, Italy, you might be looking for information about their annual lasagna festival. But if you're in Omaha, Nebraska, you probably aren't. When a web page was uploaded is an important factor too. Pages published more recently often have more accurate information, especially in the case of a rapidly developing news story. Of course, not every site on the web is trying to be helpful. Just like with robocalls on your phone or spam in your email, there are a lot of sites that only exist to scam, and every day scammers upload millions more of them. So just because instantvirusdownload.net lists the words lasagna recipe 400 times, that doesn't mean it's going to help you make dinner. We spend a lot of time trying to stay one step ahead of tricks like these, making sure our algorithms can recognize scam sites and flag them before they make it to your search results page. So let's review. Billions of times a day, whenever someone searches for lasagna, or resume writing tips, or how to swaddle a baby, or anything else, Google software locates all the potentially relevant results on the web, removes all the spam, and ranks them based on hundreds of factors like keywords, links, location, and freshness. Okay, good time to take a breath. This last part is about how we make changes to search, and it's important. Since 1998, when Google went online, people seem to have found our results pretty helpful. But the web is always changing, and people are always searching for new things. In fact, 1 in every 7 searches is for something that's never been typed into the search box before, by anyone, ever. So we're always working on updates to search, thousands every year. Which brings up a big question. How do we decide whether a change is making search more helpful? Well, one of the ways we evaluate potential updates to search is by asking people like you. Every day, thousands of search quality raters look at samples of search results side by side, then give feedback about the relevance and reliability of the information. To make sure those evaluations are consistent, the raters follow a list of search quality evaluator guidelines. Think of them as our publicly available guide to what makes a good result good. Oh, and one last thing to remember. We use responses from raters to evaluate changes, but they don't directly impact how search results are ranked. So there you have it. Every time you click search, our algorithms are analyzing the meaning of the words in your search, matching them to the content on the web, understanding what content is most likely to be helpful and reliable, and then automatically putting it all together in a neatly organized page designed to get you the info you need. All in, 0.81 seconds? Wow. Anyone else ready for dinner? Interested in learning more? We've got a whole website dedicated to how search works. Just click right here. Want to read the search quality rater guidelines for yourself? Click right here.
So that gives a very good understanding about how search works. And I think 2 words that really stand out here is it helpful and is it reliable? So if you're not there when they're searching for a product or a service that you provide, it's a missed opportunity. Just like it would be if you were shopping in the bread aisle and there was no bread. So being there is really important, especially when the search is specific and localized. Again, going back to this pizza example, pizza restaurant Birmingham. If you haven't made it clear that you are in Birmingham and it's clear that you offer pizza, it's a missed opportunity for people to find you. So the question then becomes, well, how do I know if customers are really searching for my products or services online? And there are a number of tools that you can use to help you understand if they are and what they're searching for. Google Trends is a great tool. This is a free tool and enables you to see what potential customers are searching for. Now, Trends works in a couple of different ways. In one hand, it gives you the opportunity to see what's already trending. So where one of the things that was mentioned in the video is about, recently developing stories. So if something is developing at the moment, maybe something happened, in the last week or so, unfortunately, Tina Turner passed away. So that was trending because most people were searching for Tina Turner or Tina Turner music or albums or, all of these kind of things. So Google Trends will show you how many people are searching for specific keywords over a period of time. And that can be today, in the last few days, or over the last year. In addition, you have the opportunity to search for very specific things. So let's imagine you were a personal trainer and you wanted to understand how many people are searching for personal trainers. You could come into Google Trends, you can put in personal trainer, and then you can specify the country, the period of time for which you want to look at the data. Again, it can be within days, weeks, months, or even years. And then you can run a search to see what the frequency of searching is. Now think and know that it's likely to fluctuate over a period of time. Anything that's kind of close to January will always have a fluctuation in terms of people searching for personal trainers because everyone wants to set January New Year resolutions. And then also towards summer, people want to have a summer body. So it's good to see where the peaks and troughs are, what people are searching for, to allow you to position yourself to be found. So start thinking about a product or service that you have and being able to search for that in Trends to see how many people might be searching for that. Okay, so we'll take a quick pause for questions. It doesn't look like there are any questions so far. Absolutely fine. As soon as you think of any questions, just feel free to drop them into the chat and Sarah will answer them or we'll take them up at the next break. So where do you go to build your presence on Google? Now, the first part is really just understanding where you can be seen. So most search engines are going to work in the same way. When a person wants to find something, they type in a word or a phrase, and that's known as a search query. Their goal is to create the most relevant list of results possible. So again, looking at all of those different factors, who should we display as a response? I like to look at a search query as a question and the results as answers. So your business is an answer to somebody's question. So you need to make sure that your answer is as relevant as possible to the potential questions being asked in order to be displayed in the search results. So the results page generally intends to include links to websites, but you'd also see business listings known as Google Business Profile, items for sale. It could be adverts, images, maps, videos, flights even, and more. Again, you normally have a few links at the top to enable you to filter by specific types. So the images at the top generally tend to be shopping ads. So it promotes a product, a particular retailer, and you also have text ads that appear beneath that. Ads are paid placements. And so advertisers are actually competing against each other. So just because you have paid for an ad, you still have to go through another process of competing for that slot. And this is essentially bidding for your spot to be, placed in the results when someone asks a specific question. So that gives you the opportunity to show your ads and therefore potentially get that engagement. Organic ads will appear beneath that. So you've got your images, you've got your ads, and then you have your organic listings. These are not paid. So this is just about you being in a position to have enough things going on in your website that shows that you're relevant. For example, it could be the headlines you've used, the text you've used within your website. It could be the information that the keywords, etc., in your metadata. All of these kind of things contribute to that. So the next thing is to start thinking about, well, what are the words and phrases that people search for specifically for those who are shopping? So there are 3 areas that you can be found on Google. And so again, start thinking about what people might be searching for in all of these places. So the organic search refers to the websites that show up on a search engine page, as I mentioned, are not paid. So organic, this is why so many people are looking at things like SEO, search engine optimization, to improve their ranking so that they can appear higher in the list of organic results. So these are matched to the searcher's query based on a series of algorithms that measure relevance and also authority. And again, how fresh is it? Is this something that was done 10 years ago, or is it something that was done 10 days ago? You then have the business listings or Google business profiles, which allow you, they're essentially online portfolios that contain information about your business. So what is your business? Where is it? What's your phone number? What hours do you open? What is your website link? It also includes things like photos. Maybe you've got some behind the scenes things. If you're a restaurant, maybe you've got photos of your food. You can also include things like menus. So again, depending on your business, it's always useful to have that. So regardless of whether you use organic or paid searches, always have a business listing. So get a Google business profile and make sure that you get that set up, because what that does is it enables you to be seen even if your organic listing does not rank in the first page of Google. So paid searches, these are advertising where you are paying for your particular business to appear as a result when a particular search query is entered. And again, there's a process for which you need to bid to have that placement. So search engine optimization is the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of traffic to your website through organic search engine results. So this is all about how can I make sure that the content that is on my website shows how relevant it is to the types of search queries that my potential customers are likely to enter. So it just makes it easier for people to find you. Again, going back to the personal trainer example, if you're a personal trainer and you never mention personal training, weight loss, or health, you are completely irrelevant to the majority of people who are likely to use those search terms to search for something on Google. So it's all about understanding not only the type of business that you are, but what language do your customers, potential customers, use when they're running a search query. We may say personal trainer, or we may say PT, they may say personal trainer. We may say weight loss, they may say lose weight. So understanding and getting into the mindset of a customer is really important to bridge this gap when it comes to searching. So the search engine's primary goal really is to help people find what they're looking for. And Google has more than 200 signals to determine how a page ranks. And so the most important aspects of an SEO program is the content. So as I mentioned, it's really important that your content reflects who you are, what you do, and what your customers are searching for. This doesn't mean writing the word or keyword that you have in every single sentence, but enough to show that you are relevant. So making improvements to your website will help it to appear in the organic search results. And good SEO involves helping a search engine find and understand your site. So when someone visits Google and types in a word or a phrase, which is the search query, a list of relevant results are displayed, which is your organic search results. And hopefully that is where you will appear. So there's no shortcut for search engine optimization, as much as a lot of people out there are trying to promise you. It's really important that you understand the fundamentals of this so you can practice it. Know that this is not a quick thing. If you want quick results, you're better off paying for an ad. In the background, you want to be building up your website and your presence by organic search results. So again, SEO is about improving your site's visibility to people who are searching for products and services like yours. So keyword research, there is keyword planner. I think it's keyword tool planner, which exists within Google Ads. So you don't have to pay for an ad to access the planner, but you do need to have a Google Ads account. So when you go into the Google keyword tool planner, it gives you an opportunity to search for keywords that you might be wanting to use, and then Google will show you the frequency for which they're searched for. So if you have an idea about a keyword that you might want to use, but less than 1,000 people are searching for it a month, you may want to rethink that. It will also offer suggestions for other keywords that you may not have thought about. So again, look for what phrases and keywords are people looking for when they're looking for searches like yours. Sorry, for businesses like yours. The next thing is really thinking about the content that you're putting out. It shouldn't be content for the sake of content. Make sure that the content is relevant to the services and products that you offer. Again, going back to that notion that a search query is a question, your business is the answer. Your content should showcase to your potential customers that you have the answer to whatever problems that they're currently experiencing. So think about the language that you're using, publish high quality content, make sure it's got all of the right keywords in there, that it's grounded on, facts, statistics, or, you've gone through that process of ensuring that this is good, authoritative content. And then make your web page is search friendly. So again, going back to that title and that metadata description, these are used by the search engine to generate the results. So you want to make sure that you, at least in the title and your metadata, have the content that relates to the phrases or keywords that your customers are likely to use. And then the description basically is a few short sentences that summarize what your business offer. So again, don't try to stuff too many things in there. You want to make sure that you are putting the right bits of information in there to enable your website to be shown as helpful and relevant. So think about it from your user perspective. We are definitely becoming a bit more research obsessed. And with search, people can get really specific and still have confidence that what they're searching for will get a response. Again, in the video, it mentioned that there are unique phrases being used every single day. So for example, let's look at shoes. Yes, people want to learn about the best ones, and in some cases, very personal and very particular ways. And here are a few approaches to mobile searches. So understanding your user intent is making sure that you understand what a person needs to know in order to make an informed decision. So it could be that they want to find reviews. It could be that they want to buy products. They want to compare prices. The list is completely endless. So one of the best ways to discover more about your user's intent is to look at your own marketing analytics. As I mentioned, Google Ad Keyword Planner will help you to see which keywords. And so you've got short keywords and long tail keywords. Short keywords are essentially up to about 3 different words: trainers, shoes for nurses, etc. Long tail keywords tend to be 4 or above, and these generally tend to be more specific. So again, going back to a previous example, I'm looking for a personal trainer in Southeast London, this postcode. That's a long tail keyword. And no, you're not expected to have your website showcase every single town that you offer, especially if you're doing online personal training. But it's useful to really get an understanding of how people are searching, so you can make sure that you put the relevant information in your website. So these long tail keywords, 3 to 5 word phrases, are going to help people who are a bit more specific. So you want to be thinking of both types of keywords when you are putting your website together and putting the content in. So your content should align to respond to that, connects with those users immediately. Because if someone is looking for comfortable shoes for plantar fasciitis, can barely get that one out, and you have plantar fasciitis written on your website, that is going to give them the information that shows that you are the website that they need to click through. It helps them make that informed decision. So when you get the content right by understanding the keywords, it's a really effective way of increasing traffic to your website, click-throughs, leads, sales, and most importantly, conversions. So how does Google see your site? So a good way for you to see, monitor and maintain your website is Google Search Console. It pretty much has two key functions. It will monitor your performance and it will show you how Google sees your site. So a good way to use Google Search Console is to look at how your performance can be improved. Maybe you've got an image there that's loading really slowly, and that is potentially preventing people from wanting to go into your website. And then how does Google see your site? Well, how does it rank? What keywords are bringing your website up? So again, making sure that you're able to give Google access to your site is the most important step. Submit new content and remove any content that you don't want shown in the search results, and keep monitoring your site for any problems. So the reports will tell you which queries caused your site to appear in a particular search result. Highly useful, because if you have set out a bunch of keywords and then you see from your Google Search Console results that different keywords are creating a lot more click-throughs, you may want to again rethink the content in your website and include those to make your website more relevant and more likely to appear in search results. Specify which websites link to your site, and it can also tell you if your site works well on mobile devices. Considering 84% of searches are being done on mobile devices, you want to make sure that even if you design your website using a laptop or a desktop, that you have tested it against the mobile experience, because the majority of people are likely to use it from a mobile. If they don't enjoy the experience, they're not going to come back. So again, just start thinking about how you can use the Google Search Console to make small improvements. You don't have to make huge improvements overnight, but it is definitely worthwhile checking this out. Local SEO is about increasing your search visibility for businesses that serve communities face-to-face. So I know that someone mentioned that they have a website, or two of you mentioned that you have a website. Does anyone have a bricks and mortar business? Local SEO is brilliant for having that place that you want people to now come to, and you're using online as a way of guiding people to your physical store. So again, really important for you to get your business listed on Google Business Profile, because that will allow your business to be visible in a map. So anyone who's searching for something near them, you will come up, even if your business hasn't ranked on that first page. Consider it to be like a local directory, and it's good for connecting with potential customers in their area. And so I'm seeing that you don't have a physical store. That's absolutely fine. And that's fine. If you deliver to a particular area, this could also be useful, but this is mostly for people who have that physical store and want to interact with their customers face to face. So include your key information like business name, address, telephone number. And again, just make sure that you've got that. Google Maps will also consider things like your relevancy, your distance, and your prominence. Relevancy is how well your business listing matches the search. If your listing is detailed and up to date, Google is more likely to show it for relevant searches. Distance is about distance. How close are you to the searcher or the particular area that they've specified? And prominence is gauged by how well known the business is, and usually that's based on information Google can find across the web. Are you only mentioned in Google Business Profile? Do you have a website? Are you on social media? Are you in other places where your business has been named? That increases your prominence. So looking at your business in maps then, again, there's Google Search and there's Google Maps. So both relate to having a Google Business Profile and increasing your visibility on maps. And it's really, I can't overemphasize enough how important this is. So do let us know, do you already have a Google Business Profile? If not, that is the only thing you need to do after today's session, is get a Google Business Profile. So mobile search has been steadily on the rise, and so it's about half of all searches on Google specifically. So you want to make sure that you have a Google Business Profile to be able to come up in maps. And for those of you who have an online presence only, it's still worthwhile getting that, because you can register as having an online business, which then makes you available ability to come up on there. And I believe that you can specify the local area that you kind of serve. So for me, being based in London, I can have a pin drop somewhere in London. It's not a physical location, but I'm an online business. So when people search for, trainers in London, I might come up simply because I've got a Google business profile. So again, most people are starting to search for near me. So it's important to be able to put some form of address or location on your Google business profile as well. Now, there are 4 steps to creating a Google business profile, and they are very, very simple. The first thing is to actually go to Google business profile. So business.google.com. First thing. The next thing is to add or select your business. So type in your business name, and then you can start going through the process of entering your information. So what's your address? Adding your website. You might be able to put some social media links in there, maybe a telephone number. You might want to put some images in there, etc. So until you are verified, most of that information is not shown. So that's what you need to do, is verify your listing. And that process is about you putting down an address so that you can receive a postcard with a code on it. Now, that address that you put down specifically for verification is not what's going to be displayed to the public. It's just so that you can prove that you are a human being in a particular location and that you can have that listing because you are based there. Okay, so it's really good to get that done. And then once you're verified, you can start updating further information about your profile. So it's all about showing people that you're active. Now, customers are constantly searching for local businesses, and every month, Google helps to drive more than 100 billion visits to websites, more than 700 million phone calls, and more than 2 billion direction requests. So imagine, if you don't have a Google business profile, how much opportunity you are missing in terms of gaining new clients. To qualify for the business listing, you must either meet with people face-to-face at a store or have an online business, and you can select that option when you go. So again, just make sure you go through, you add all of the relevant information, and to make it a bit more human, let's say, add photos of your business, maybe your team, maybe some behind the scenes. What does it look like to work in your kitchen? What does it look like to walk around your store? Maybe you want to do a video of some of your products that are on offer. But it's always good to just make sure that people can get an insight into your business through your profile, and always respond to reviews, whether they're good or bad. Reviews, and it's been mentioned in today's session, some people use reviews in order to make decisions. So if you've got a bad review that you don't respond to, people are going to take that as you not having great customer service. So if you have a problem, and all businesses will have a problem at some point, you want to be able to be open, honest, transparent, and engage with that person and try to resolve it and come back and update that to say, we're so grateful that we've managed to resolve this and look forward to you coming to do more business with us. And that helps other people who potentially might have been hesitant to see that you are a company who does have problems, but deal with it in a very professional and positive way. Excuse me. So search advertising is all about when you pay for an ad, but only when someone clicks through. So you may have an ad running, but if nobody clicks through, you don't pay anything. And the idea is that you bid on keywords that are relevant to your target audience, and they will appear in the top part where I mentioned about the ads in the search results that get shown. So where do they appear? Again, depending on what kind of product or service you're selling, it allows you to create search, display, and YouTube ad campaigns. And again, Google generally can tend to decide which ads will be shown in which positions based off an auction. So you're bidding. I'm going to pay this much for every person who clicks on my link. And there are up to 7 ad slots available across each search engine result page. So again, if you've got 100 people trying to bid on the same keywords that you're using, there is a chance that you may not always be shown. And this is why it's so important to be helpful, to be relevant, to make sure your content is useful and that you clearly show how you help your potential customers. The top 4 tend to be the most competitive, as this is where most users or customers generally tend to click. So create a campaign is the first step for you to create an ad, and you can do that through Google Ads. You will then need to go through a process of selecting the type of campaign, giving it a name, what type, where is it going to be based, what your bid strategy is, and what your daily budget is going to be. And we do have an introduction to or get started with digital advertising. So if you're interested to knowing about using ads, do sign up for that webinar and you'll get more of an in-depth step through on how to do that. The next thing is to look for keywords. And again, I mentioned the keyword planner tool. That's part of this. So it will give you an idea about which keywords might be best for you to use as part of this ad that are going to be relevant to your target audience. Conduct some market research, maybe ask questions, even ask existing customers or people within your target audience. What do you search for when you're on Google, when you're looking for products and services? And that will give you really, really good insight. And then lastly is create a compelling ad. This is something that grabs attention. Think about your own journey. How many times have you searched in Google and you've seen ads come up at the top and you think, oh gosh, that looks interesting, I'm going to click through? What was it about that ad? Was it the headline? Was it the title? What was it that made you want to click through? You're going to need to think about that as you write your own ads. And if you can't decide between one or the other, maybe think about which, maybe do A and B testing. So test more than one headline and see which one gets you the best results. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any questions, so we'll plow through. And again, just be aware that we still have another opportunity for questions, so do drop them in the chat if you do come up with any. So lastly, we're going to look at how you build your presence on Google. It's important to make sure that your business website works well on mobiles. Again, think about how many people are searching on their phone. A mobile-friendly site can bring you more site visitors, give them a better experience, and bring in more business. Mobile SEO includes the exact same factors you should consider for a standard website, like relevant content. But what is most important for mobile site optimization is performance and usability. So performance is about how quickly does that site load. Think about it. You are on your phone. Maybe you're looking for something close by. You run a search, you find a website, you click through, and it's taking seconds, maybe up to a minute just to load the homepage. By that point, you've already given up. So how quickly it loads is extremely important. And depending on which site that you use to construct your website, you can adjust which images are shown on your website versus a device. So you might have a really great, lovely image that you want to include on your website, fine. But on the mobile, it tends to load slowly. Do you really need the image on the mobile? Because if not, you can hide it, and that will enable your website to load a lot quicker on the mobile. So usability is about the user's experience using your site. So if they have a good mobile experience, they'll be more likely to appear in mobile search results. So an example is that some video and content formats can't be viewed on a mobile. So if that's how your site is built, it's not going to offer a great experience. I've been to websites where I've clicked through and it's going to give me the information I need. I try to press play and the video doesn't work. So then I just think, well, what's the point? There's no point me looking around anymore in this website because it doesn't give me what I need. So really think about how you can optimize your website for different devices. Now, more than 90% of people searching online want to find info related to a business, and a Google listing is the first thing people will see when they find a business on Google. So again, this is, making sure that you have a Google business profile or Google listing is going to increase your ability to appear on search and maps for free, and also gain new customers in the process. Now, if you want to think about social reviews, or, people are influenced by the experiences that other people have had, not necessarily what the business say. So you want to have a place where you can collect reviews, and a Google listing, Google Business Profile is definitely a great place to do that. They can leave reviews, they can share pictures of their experiences, and you can now join in the conversation by posting updates, responding to reviews, you can message your customers, and a lot more. So it's definitely worthwhile getting a Google listing. So again, you would go in, you would edit your details, you can add or change photos, respond to reviews, and you can also add managers. So if there's multiple people who might need to be managing your profile, you can add them so that they can all access that profile using their own account. And for those of you who may not have a website, do not fear. You do not need to spend thousands and thousands of pounds on a website. Google offer websites for free. So you can go to sites, I think it's sites.google.com. There'll be a link posted to that in the chat for you, but you have an opportunity to create a free website using Google. Now, they have templates. So if you're not sure what the look and feel should be like, you can start with a template and adjust it. Adjust your brand colors, change the images, change the fonts, all of those kind of things. And what it does is it allows you to have a place where you can direct people so they can learn more about your business and maybe get in contact with you. So you can add images, you can add a logo, again, using good quality. You can have a virtual tour. There's so many things that you can do, and also have a button which allows people to contact you. So imagine having a profile and then it links to a website. That drives traffic to a place where you can continually update it. And yes, there is a yourcompanyname.business.site option. However, Google's websites is free, but it doesn't cost much to buy a domain name. So what you can actually do is buy a domain name separately and get a free Google website and connect the two. That means instead of the yourcompanyname.business.site, it's just yourcompanyname.com, or whatever it is that you've chosen to do. So this is a worthwhile way of having an online presence, and you don't have to fill it with pages and pages of information. You can just have a little bit of information there and build as you go. A good reason for having this is also to be able to connect Google Analytics, so you can understand the kind of traffic that's coming to your website. Optimize your business listing by adding your opening hours, adding photos, and replying to reviews to help build trust. So again, this is really about you being in a position where somebody comes across your website and you have got enough information about what your business does. You've got enough of an insight into what it might look like to engage or interact with your business. And you have enough people who have interacted with your business so that they can get a sense of what the experience might be for them. So make sure that you are putting as much information that's relevant to your potential customers to help influence their decisions to click on your link and to engage with your business, because that's the way that you're going to draw more clients and customers to you. So use posts to tell customers what's new. Maybe you're a restaurant and you've got a new dish coming. So you cook up the dish, you take some lovely photos, and then you make an announcement. Maybe you're a personal trainer and you're offering new sessions in January. Again, use that as an opportunity to announce your New Year offer. So again, all of your posts will appear within your Google Business Profile, so people can use that as an opportunity to come back and find out what's going on in your world. Look through your insights. So there are insights on all sorts of pages. So for your Google Business Profile, it has insights to give you an understanding of who's been visiting, what are the reviews like, what have people been mentioning, how many people have been coming, and what's some of the typical data that you would capture against any particular business. So it's really useful to gain insights because it helps you to see what traffic is being driven to your Google Business Profile. And again, responses to any reviews are going to be helpful to give people an understanding about what your customer service is like. Okay, so we have a final stop for questions, and it doesn't look like we have any. I've just seen a comment come through. Renee is saying, I am realizing how much work I still have to do. Honestly, all of us have so much work to do. You are not alone. But because there is so much, even doing one thing is useful. So if you don't have a Google Business Profile yet, just get that. And already you are placing yourself in a position to be found by others. If you've got a profile already, think of one update that you can make. And again, that will make your listing more relevant because you've posted content that's recent. If you've got a website, maybe you want to rethink some of your SEO. Just do that. So focusing on one thing moving forward from today is going to help you more than trying to figure out all the things that you need to do. But Renee, the fact that you've already got a website, you're already in a good place. The next thing is figuring out, how can I attract more people to it? So look at something like Google Analytics and see what is driving people to your website. Or if you don't have analytics set up, which I advise you to do, have a look at the Google Search Console, because that can also tell you what keywords were used or search results were used for people to click to your website. So just take things one at a time. And if I haven't mentioned already, just be aware that this broadcast is available for 24 hours. So you can always come back and look back at very specific parts if you just want a refresh. Okay, so what are the next steps? Apart from what I've mentioned and just choosing one thing, Renee, it depends on where in the world you are. If you're based in the UK, please do sign up for one-to-one mentoring. You can sit with a Google Digital Garage trainer and we will just kind of talk through what things do you think that you need to work on? What's the most important thing to work on right now? And how would you go about it? If you're not based in the UK, we still have plenty of other webinars available. So it'd be very, very useful for you to go and check those out. Again, I mentioned things like we've got one around Google Analytics. We've got one on digital advertising. We've got one on Google. We actually have one on Google Business Profile, I think. So that would be useful to get more of an understanding of that. And then there are other ones to digital marketing, social media strategy, etc. So definitely go there, sign up for one-to-one mentoring if you're in the UK, and also check out our other webinars. Now, it wouldn't make sense if we're telling you that in order to improve our business, we need feedback and reviews. So it'll be great if you have an opportunity to visit this link and let us know let us know your feedback for this session. How was your experience today? Did you find it useful? Let us know. Also, let us know what other topics you might be interested in so that we can put additional webinars together. And so again, we also have a variety of other training sessions. We've got webinars, we've got Google career certificates if you're looking to grow in a very particular area. So visit our website, leave some feedback, have a look around and see what other options are available to you in order to further your knowledge and position you to have customers and clients looking for you online. So just like to thank everybody for joining us today, and we will see you again very soon.